Hello and welcome to Salty About Health. My name is Dalaney Algier, and I'm here with my mom and co-host, Mary. So, Mom, why are we salty about health?
Good question. It's because both of us have had struggles, some more serious than others, and no one showed us simple ways we could jump into the driver's seat and take control.
And why are we sharing our views with our listeners?
Well, because we want our listeners to realize that it may take time, but with some simple knowledge about health, they'll be able to make a few changes and dig deeper to take control of their well being and live a more vibrant life.
That's fantastic. But right now, before we get into all of that, we just need to do some housekeeping. Here we go. This is an opinion-based podcast. This is not in any way offered as a diagnosis or treatment for any disease, illness, or infirmity for physical or mental condition or any other condition you may have. We are not doctors or practitioners of any kind. Persons needing medical care should obtain it from a medical practitioner. So, consult your practitioner before making any health decision. The opinions offered here in this podcast are ours alone. Again, we're not doctors, and the banter you're going to be listening to is our view and our view alone. Okay, that's done. We, of course, also want to have an open dialogue with our listeners. So stay tuned to the end of the episode, and we'll let you know all of the ways that we can connect. Welcome. So glad to have our listeners back for episode 12. Mom was cleaning out her medicine cabinet and decided to make a podcast episode about it. She's going to let you know why she uses the more natural products and what products she uses to replace the ones that are not so natural. She will let you know what she takes for an upset stomach, headaches, etc., and also let you know some of the personal care products that she uses. Okay, Mom, we are all ears.
Yeah, so I was cleaning and organizing my medicine cabinet and realized that some of our listeners probably don't know some simple hacks for getting the same results by using something natural without using an over-the-counter drug or personal care product with a lot of chemicals. I feel this is important because some of the over-the-counter drugs can actually have some pretty bad side effects if you aren't careful. And also, many don't know when you put something on your skin, your body absorbs it quickly, and then it is in your system. Studies show the skin absorbs an average of 64% of total contaminant dosage. Other studies found the face to be several times more permeable than broad body surfaces and an absorption rate of 100% for underarms and genitalia. And another peer-reviewed study showed 100% absorption for fragrance ingredients.
Wow, that is quite the eye-opener. So, what are some of the side effects and dangers of some of the over-the-counter drugs that we take all the time?
So first, just say anything can be dangerous that you are ingesting. So, or putting on your skin. So to think just because they sell it at the store that it is safe is not necessarily true. If used improperly, many things can do you harm. So let's take acetaminophen, for example. That is the active ingredient in Tylenol. It is a pain reliever and fever reducer. It relieves pain and mild arthritis, but has no effect on the underlying inflammation, redness, and swelling of the joint. Some common side effects of using acetaminophen are rash, nausea, and headache. Other side effects include hypersensitivity reactions, serious skin reactions, kidney damage, anemia, and low platelets in the blood. Chronic alcohol use may increase the risk of stomach bleeding. The most serious side effect of acetaminophen is liver damage due to large doses. So let's talk about acetaminophen. Didn't I recently give you a natural hangover cure for?
You did. Well, you gave it to one of my friends because I have yet to have a hangover. No one believes me. And I do drink. It's not that I avoid it just by not drinking to the point where you probably would get a hangover. I just, for some reason, don't get that reaction the next day. But it was my bachelorette party. We can say that. It was my bachelorette party, and one of my friends had a little too much, and mom came to the rescue with
With two, we'll just say two herbs. We don't want to, but we'll just say two herbs because
two herbs. You did, but it helped my friend be able to enjoy the day with the rest of us instead of being super hungover all day.
it was night and day. So that was good. And the reason I bring up acetaminophen was because long ago, I think
in a land far, far
exactly, not long after you were born. I remember talking to a doctor, and when he was going through his internship and all that kind of stuff that doctors do, he recalled a young lady in her mid-20s that OD'd on acetaminophen. And she purposely took a lot of that drug, and they didn't realize it. And I think he said if it goes for 3 days, there's nothing you can do. And she died. Nowadays, I know they have, really great tests and they can tell what's in the body, this and that. But anyway, so then it got me thinking, a lot of people take acetaminophen when they drink because they don't want a hangover, or the next morning they get up and they have a headache. And that is just a horrible combination. Alcohol and acetaminophen don't work. And again, chronic use of acetaminophen is also not a good idea. It's extremely hard on your liver. So I know one of your aunts used to take, I don't know how many a day, but she finally figured out that that was not a good thing and had stopped. I know that people need these kinds of over-the-counter medications occasionally, but you really need to read the inserts. And if you have a chronic condition, there may be other ways to deal with that.
Okay, so taking acetaminophen for a hangover may not be a good option.
Exactly. Okay, so let's get back on topic. I also like to take more natural remedies because of all the other ingredients they put in some products. Health food stores tend to stock things without questionable ingredients. Ingredients that are GRAS, which is generally recognized as safe and not cancerous. I was listening to a podcast yesterday that says the U.S. still uses 1,400 ingredients in the health and beauty products that have been banned in other countries. Though I think the pressure is mounting and people are starting to vote with their wallets and companies are finally bowing to the pressure. I see mainstream beauty products that are not organic but have labels declaring they have taken out the parabens and phthalates and the sodium lauryl sulfates.
No, SLS.
Yes.
Yep.
And excellent source for information on food, beauty products, household products, and what to use on your lawn and garden is Environmental Working Group. And we have put the links in the show notes. If you don't want to wait, you can find it at www.ewg.org, and you can also download the app for your phone.
Okay, so let's talk about what you and I use, and just know that we don't have any part in these companies, but these are just products that we have found work for us.
So when I have a headache, there are two things I will think about using. One is Feverfew. It has potent anti-inflammatory and antispasmodic properties, and it's a natural sedative with similar effects to chamomile. That's my go-to, and it is an herb. There is also willow bark that is used for headaches. Willow bark may be used to help with swelling and muscle and joint pain, especially in people with arthritis. Others will use it to help lower fevers and symptoms of the common cold or flu. It is basically aspirin, salicylic acid. The principal metabolite of aspirin is the active ingredient in the willow bark called salicin, which converts to salicylic acid. In fact, that's what people used willow bark and they made aspirin from that.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, if you have salicylate kind of sensitivity, you may not want to use that, but otherwise I find it just as good as aspirin. Plus, I mean, if you're allergic to aspirin, you're allergic to aspirin.
Oh, I didn't know you could be allergic to aspirin.
Yeah. Some people are sensitive to it. And again, what did they tell you? Not to give aspirin to children younger than, I guess, 18, because isn't it?
18? No way.
You never had aspirin until you were over 18. Yes. There is it. What syndrome do you get? Look that up. It's like, I don't want to guess.
Okay.
But it causes an issue in some children 18 and under, so they tell you never to give aspirin to children. See, I was looking out for you. I don't have an issue with diarrhea, but when I do, for me, loading up on probiotics works, especially if it is due to food poisoning or traveler's diarrhea, and the food just doesn't sit right with me. So they also say eating bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast help with diarrhea. But I know probiotics do. You just take a lot of them.
I found what the aspirin thing is. So
it starts with an R, right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Reyes syndrome, REYE'. It's a rare disorder that causes brain and liver damage, and it usually occurs in children who have had a recent viral infection, such as the chickenpox or the flu, and then taking aspirin to treat that infection greatly increases their risk of getting that syndrome. So apparently under 16 is what they're saying.
You know me, always cautious.
Yes.
I waited till you were 18.
And even that, I don't take it. I don't know if you're going to talk about ibuprofen, but that is what I've used for pain.
Now, ibuprofen, yeah, that's an anti-inflammatory, right? You might want to look that up. And yes. What's great for that is boswellia, which is actually frankincense, but in herb form, they call it boswellia.
Okay.
You may want to look that up. That's what I use. In fact, someone came in the office the other day and asked me if I had it, and I had gotten it. And I said, yeah, I have it. And she had inflammation. And so then she came in again. She said, did you order that again? I said, no, I usually don't keep it in stock. And so I ordered 2 more. Yeah, I use that a lot. I like boswellia. Okay, so here's my sick kit. And I know Dalaney uses a lot of this also.
Yes.
And I take it with me when I travel. Definitely ginger for stomach upset. I take that everywhere.
So helpful.
Yes, it's amazing. It works every time for me. I know long ago antacids used to contain aluminum, and research shows that's not good for your brain. So perhaps our listeners will give ginger tablets a try if they are not sensitive to ginger. Also, listeners with tummy issues when they eat may want to try DGL, which is deglycerized licorice for acid reflux. Your grandmother and her friends in Florida love this. I remember.
I do too.
Okay. She was complaining about her stomach one time when I was visiting, and I said, well, why don't you just do this? So she told all her friends, and it was a huge hit in Florida.
It actually, so I remember I was using it in college before we figured out all of my food issues because besides getting the sports induced asthma, I was also, every time I ate, it was just like, I don't know if it was acid reflux, but it was just like pain like in my chest from eating, which was really weird. But the licorice helped a little bit. And I hate the candy licorice. So this is not like that. This actually tastes pretty good.
It does. And let's make a distinction. DGL stands for deglycerized licorice because that enzyme in licorice that raises blood pressure, they take it out.
Okay.
Because people who have high blood pressure need to be very careful about eating real licorice. I don't know if the kind you get was actually real, but occasionally they do sell the real stuff. And real licorice, black licorice, will raise your blood pressure. And they take that out. And so you don't have to worry about that. And they come in chewable tablets. I do know that. And
yes, that's perhaps the kind I've done.
Yeah, I think most people do. They may have capsules, but I do know they're chewables. And they really are, they taste good and they really work.
Yeah, they do. They work really well.
So for illness on the road or at home, I have oregano, which Dalaney loves too. And she sent her friend off with it on her travels recently.
Yes.
And oregano is, at least the kind I get, is liquid. So I will get just oregano tablets when I actually travel, but at home I have the oregano, which is a liquid. You guys were doing it in Rhode Island when you
we did. We did it at the bachelorette party too, because we're being conscious of all the health things that are happening currently. So we did oregano shots together.
Yes, to keep things at bay.
Exactly. And you can also, the liquid form, there's the big bottles of it that is already diluted. But if you want to travel with the liquid, there is the concentrated version as well. But it does have a very strong taste. So I don't know. I haven't tried the tablets. I just kind of suck it up and literally do it in like shot form and get it over with. But yeah, so if you're super sensitive to the taste of things, definitely look into the tablets because it's a great thing and it's super helpful, at least to us, but it's very potent.
It's kind of like taking a shot of pesto or something, being in an Italian restaurant.
Yes. Yes, it's being Italian on steroids.
Exactly. So in this kit, when I travel, not only do I have the oregano, which all this will be in the show notes, the links, echinacea, andrographis. Andrographis, I do keep around. I don't take that often because it really dries me out. So unless I have, which I rarely get sick, but if I have a chest cold or something in the chest, I'll take that. So again, read about all these just so you know what exactly they will do. Colloidal silver. I love that if I'm going to get on a plane and if I'm traveling around a lot of people. Vitamin C is wonderful.
Yes.
That, again, we mentioned in another episode. There was a 1999 PubMed article that said it helped with the flu and all viruses, 85% effective, more than anything else they gave. And that was a double-blind study. So zinc is also a favorite.
It's hard to swallow because for some reason it only comes in the non-coded form. We don't know why.
Everybody has their story about almost choking to death on a zinc tablet. So be very careful.
And take food with zinc. Zinc equals food. Food equals zinc. Oh my goodness. If you don't, you're going to feel terrible, which is what you're trying to avoid. So
yes, on an empty stomach, it's not a good thing.
Yes.
Even if you get the zinc lozenges, it can wreak havoc on your stomach.
Yes. Zinc equals food.
Yes. And I just read an article telling you how to find out if you had a zinc deficiency. And you can buy the liquid zinc sulfate on Amazon. and you put this in your mouth and you hold it for 10 seconds. And if you've got this really strong taste of zinc, then you're fine. If you have a moderate taste of zinc, then you're okay. But if you can't hardly taste it in 10 seconds, you're really deficient.
Wow.
So it was really interesting. So I went to Amazon and I looked it up, and the liquid bottles are not that expensive. And I know I don't have a zinc deficiency, but when I run out of my supply here of zinc tablets, I will probably get that just to do the experiment.
That's pretty cool.
And Delaney's favorite, which I do not take often because it's way too sweet for me, is Zambucas, which is black elderberry.
It's so good.
And so much sugar.
Yep.
But I did look on Amazon, and you can actually just buy the powder, which is not sweetened or anything, and you just add it to water. She's kind of like, I don't want that one.
Oh my gosh, no, I'll try that one. But the liquid form is fun, but it does stain things. So if you get the liquid form, be careful. Yeah, it's like a berry, right? Berry. I feel like berry juice stains stuff. So exact same thing.
And they have done studies on that. And a lot of people will take black elderberry, aka Zambucas, for the flu. And they say it just wipes it out. So if you get the flu, that would be something harmless to try. Okay, so for ears and sore throat, I use a simple saline spray for a sore throat. I lay on the bed, hold my head back, and put the saline in my nose and let the saline drain to the back of my throat and down the back of my neck. This seems to stop it from spreading into my ears and helps the sore throat. Again, I haven't had an earache in years. I haven't been sick in a very long time.
No, I haven't had an earache, but I've had sore throats before because I don't know, I guess where I work, I don't talk that much because we all stay in our little cubes. So if I talk a lot, I get a sore throat from it sometimes. And the saline spray really helps, and it just feels really good too. It's kind of like when you have a sore throat, you want hot liquid or something like scratchy. Yeah, that like popcorn or something. Yeah, to scratch it. This does the same thing, but then it's also a health benefit.
Yeah, and then the way I discovered that salt is great for a lot of things, let me tell you. And the way I discovered that, we were vacationing in Malta, and I was sick. This was way back when you were probably 6 years old. And the hotel had a saltwater pool, and you wanted me to get in the pool with you, but I wasn't feeling well. And then you were going through your phase of, when you're in the pool treading and you go over backward, you do a backward
you do flips.
Yes, you really love doing that. So I had
off
to get
the side or?
Oh, no. While you're in the pool and you just kind of in the deep end and you go backward. Well, and I had a sore throat, and I got in the pool with you. It was in the middle of July. I think we're the only visitors in Malta at that time. Not a good time to go. It was so hot.
Yes. But Malta has no natural water source, so it's literally a rock.
It is. But it was beautiful. But
it is. No, it's awesome. It's super cool. Super, super cool.
And I did this backward flip, and it got all the water got up my nose, and I almost choked to death. But then I realized my sore throat was gone, within a few hours. I'm like, wow, that really helped. So that's when I started buying saline and just putting it down my nose, down my throat. And it's helped ever since. And I don't think I've ever had an ear infection since then, because they used to just spread to my ears. But if you do get an ear infection, what I learned listening to a podcast from a doctor once, and this one, it feels really weird, but if you have a dropper and hydrogen peroxide, put a few drops in your ear. So you'll put it in, and it's got that weird feeling, because when anything like water goes in there, it's just crazy weird feeling.
Yeah, it does.
and keep it for about 30 seconds to a minute in there. But then when you turn over, it's got that warm feeling, kind of like the first time you pee when you get out of the ocean. And and you go to the bathroom after you've been in a pool all day. And, so same thing. So it's nice and warm when it comes out.
You're peeing out of your ear. Oh my gosh.
And that will knock out any kind of ear infection. At least it does for me.
Yeah. That actually too is what they suggest. I mean, you can buy the earwax stuff at the store, but a natural thing to do if you have the wax buildup is also to do the hydrogen peroxide.
Oh, cool. So multi-purpose.
Yes.
Okay, so for healthy urinary tract support, we both love D-mannose.
It's magical.
And there is a link, again, in the show notes for all this. I think the listeners should look that up and see what they think, but if you want to add to that, I think it is great. Don't drink cranberry juice, and don't the cranberry that they send. This is what you want. This is what's in the cranberry that you want, and it takes care of it amazingly.
Yes, because can you do unsweetened cranberry juice, right?
You can, and I've done that before.
Gross.
But this again goes directly to the source. Get the powder, because it is a sugar, but it's a sugar your body doesn't absorb. And it tastes so good. I just take a teaspoon every night just for like a dessert.
Do you really? Oh my
Yes.
That's funny.
So what do you have to add to that about your UTIs and all?
My UTIs, just that, I got a UTI right after college, like when I was living on my own for the very, very first time, and I was dog sitting for my grandparents. And I was like, oh my goodness, I just moved to a new state. I don't have a doctor. I don't have anything like set up yet. What do I do? And mom's like, oh, obviously just buy this. I was like, okay. So I bought it, and it worked, and it worked quickly, which is great because everyone who's had a UTI knows how terrible they are.
Yes. And also, so if those of you who are sexually active too, especially for females, even taking that after, I know they tell you to pee after you have sex, but also just take a teaspoon of D-mannose, through, the relationship, whatever. It's great stuff. I love it.
It's so great.
And it tastes so good.
It does.
Okay. There are natural supplements for constipation, but I think listeners should look that up and decide for themselves, as they can be controversial.
Really?
Yeah.
Aren't like prunes supposed to help? That's controversial.
No, that's not. I was thinking the herbs, but yes, prunes. Okay. So people with histamine issues like me,
can't take prunes.
like I have to watch what I eat. That is one of those things. But yes, prunes, prune juice, they have natural stuff over the counter. But a lot of them, if you're going to go for the herbs, just look them up. I did buy something the other day that someone told me about to try, and it's something that you can take every day. But some of those herbs are pretty powerful.
Okay.
And you shouldn't take them for long periods. Again, if you are having constipation, you may want to figure out the reason why. Again, everything, if you have an issue, it's best to figure out why that issue is happening and not just to cover it up, even if it is just natural stuff you're taking or prescription stuff. I mean, you want to know the cause.
Yes.
And fix that, not just treat a symptom.
Right. Yeah, because like with the licorice, I was taking it to treat a symptom, but having figured out what was causing that symptom and getting rid of it, and now I don't have to take the licorice, is even better than constantly taking the licorice.
Yes, and sometimes it's kind of sad, kind of like the D-mannose. It tastes so good, so I just take it because it's sugar. But other things like the Zambucas that you like, I mean, they taste good, but again, they should probably be used only when necessary.
Yes. No, I don't just willy-nilly drink that. Though they should find something that is kind of flavored like that and make it into a kombucha or something.
Oh, that would be good.
Right?
Yes. Well, the Germans make a really good black currant jelly.
So
Yeah.
good. We actually found a version of that in the States though.
Yeah.
Not the Knott's Berry Farm. I don't even know if they make jams and jellies anymore. It's also a theme park, but we got their black currant stuff. It was good.
Yeah, but I think you can buy the German jelly at some of the stores
Okay,
too. And you could probably find anything online now.
that's true.
So, okay, so I think natural calm for an anti-stress drink at the end of the day. I like that. It's just powdered magnesium, but it is relaxing. And you put it in warm water and it kind of, to make like a tea, and it kind of bubbles up like a volcano.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it tastes really good. But you could also put in a calming herbal tea with it if you want, if you're one of those people who like herbal teas. And it may be great for those listeners that have trouble relaxing at the end of the day before they go to sleep. It works really well and it tastes good. So for those people, and I just read more statistics. Well over 50% of the population in the United States is magnesium deficient. So that's an option. Now I love arnica gel, and
Arnicare?
yes, that's what the name that the brand that I buy, but I think anything with arnica, I get them at the drugstores or Walmart, and it's a gel. Okay, so I love the arnica gel. The label says it is for pain relief, and that is the section you'll find it in the stores. But over and over, it has saved me with any kind of skin issue. In fact, I've never used it for pain relief. It's a topical, and that includes bug bites, razor burns, calming the skin after waxing, and I use it for skin issues and it works great for me. So
it's amazing for bug bites. It works so well.
Yeah, I had a spider bite once and it just kept spreading and I didn't know what to do. Nothing I put on it was working. So I had this arnica gel in my cabinet and I put it on and it took care of it. So right away, I just started using it for mosquito bites, any kind of spider bite, any kind of bug bite. And it is amazing. And sometimes you get the razor stubble when you shave, works for that. It's pretty amazing. I don't know about the other ingredients. I'm hoping that's not the reason. But I really do like it. So I have found a product I like for muscle aches, and that is NoxyCare. So if you have muscle aches and strains, the main ingredients are natural, but as of now, they do add food coloring. But I have been told that they're working on removing the food coloring. Also, creams with comfrey are great for muscle aches. Christopher's line has a great product that contains comfrey. Comfrey is amazing. I'm growing that outside and it grows easily. And if you just take the leaves and mash it up in a poultice and, add some kind of oil or lotion, and then you put it on the skin and put some plastic wrap or something over that and keep it works just as well. But they do have creams with that. Comfrey was called knit bone by the Native Americans, and it's pretty cool. So you may want to look into that. For toothpaste, I use Revitin. It's only available online. I know Dalaney uses ones with like charcoal, etc.
Yes, I actually right now have a hemp one that I'm using, which is pretty cool. It's by the same company. Yeah. So
very cool.
Yeah.
And so there are tons of options out there for toothpaste. I can say I didn't like Delaney's charcoal toothpaste because it kind of
that's the best part.
It leaves your sink horrible.
Oh, well, that part. Yeah. So
and your mouth is black or something.
So cool. I've decided it's totally a toothpaste they should use for children because it makes your teeth black. So it's so weird brushing your teeth because you're so used to just the white foaming, and it's completely opposite of that. And it's really entertaining, and it makes you look like someone who just like ate some mud or something. So yes, but yes, you have to clean your sink more is the one downside.
I can see why children would like that.
Right, yeah, because it's different and like feels messy, but it's actually good for them. So
Well, there you go.
yeah.
I expect to see your children with charcoal toothpaste.
Yes.
Okay, so for deodorant, I like Crystal or Tide, but I don't know what Delaney uses. There's tons of options out there now without aluminum in them. I honestly don't use deodorant anymore. I find if I eat a whole food diet, I don't need deodorant.
Okay. I use it. I think is Crystal like is that the brand?
Crystal's a brand. That
Okay.
one's
That's what I use, I think then. It's like it's a spray. I don't use a like
stick.
a stick anymore. I use the spray, and I don't know. It's deodorant. It's not antiperspirant, which
That's true,
different.
but
So
that's
you
another
still sweat.
episode.
Yeah. So but
It is
yes,
important to sweat.
it is important to sweat, and there definitely check out the different deodorants that are available because there are some natural ones that don't work for me. So my friend has a brand that she absolutely loves, and I tried it and I was super stinky even using it. So
Oh, okay.
so
Good to
yes,
know. I know Crystal works
yeah, it
every
works for us, which
time.
I mean it makes sense that we both use it because I'm half of you, right? So
There you go.
so yes, test out the deodorants.
So for bug spray, I find that Herbal Armor works great. It's a natural insect and DEET-free repellent. I've tried a lot of insect repellents, natural, and this one actually works for me.
Okay.
Now, if you're going to go on a hike or, you're going outside to a picnic, that's great. I understand some people want to use DEET, especially if you're going to be tromping through the woods and there are going to be ticks and things like that, then by all means. But on days that, you're just going outside and you kind of want the bugs to leave you alone, Herbal Armor works great.
I want to, because from our mosquito episode, talking about all the other things that repel them as well, I still want to try to come up with like my own concoction.
Oh, easily with essential oils. We did a podcast on that prior to this one, and you can look up on the internet easily, actually tick repellents, mosquito repellents, things like that with essential oils, and they work well.
Yes, yeah. When playing volleyball, when I was in Rhode Island, it would get really buggy, and actually one of the volleyball players, he made his own bug spray and he brought it, and we all use that instead of the other stuff because it works so much better. So
oh yeah, definitely. I think your cousin in Florida just made her own. We were talking about essential oils. I think I made an essential oil thing for your shoes.
You did, yes.
But that was the last episode. So, okay, hand sanitizer is popular these days, and I use the Everyone brand. It is 62% alcohol, but the other ingredients are plant enzymes that are just as good at killing bacteria than the chemicals they put in the not so natural hand sanitizers. Again, as you learned in the last podcast with essential oils.
The last episode, yeah. And also, whenever you try these new products that we're talking about, test it out on like a small area of your skin or whatever, because that particular brand, I love it. It's called Everyone brand. It works great for me. But one of their, I don't want to call it a flavor, but using their lotion, one of their varieties, their lavender lotion, my husband breaks out from it. So just, you never know what you're going to react to. So just be careful and test all of this stuff a little bit before you just use it.
Yes, and there are lots of cross reactivities to certain things. So if you have an allergy, you should put that in, like pollen cross reactivity, and it'll bring up the foods and other things that you should stay away from that actually you can react to also.
Yeah.
For bathroom fresheners, I use Zoom Mist. And I do Joelle Naturals, but I couldn't find that anymore on the internet. I know that was kind of like out of someone's house, but they were those bathroom sprays. They were really good.
Okay. Oh,
but
yeah.
the Zoom Mist works really well, and you can put that on your body too. Well, the other one you can also, and they both have great fragrances to choose from. And I use 2 Alba products. One is their lotion, and I like the Very Emollient and the Hawaiian Detox Renewing Lotion. That has clay in it. It's really cool.
That is cool.
And the other is their shave cream for legs. I'm sure they probably make one for the face too. So last but definitely not least, one of our favorite companies to get natural products from is Pacifica.
Woo!
We both love their products and use them all the time. I use their perfume, sunscreen, shampoo, conditioner, charcoal mask, and fingernail polish, to name a few of the products. And I know Dalaney loves their gummy vitamins.
Yes. I love their gummy vitamins a lot. And one of my favorite ones is currently out of stock, and it's very sad because it's for your hair and nails and it works so well. Anyways.
Yes. So check out their website. They always give you something free when you do an order from them. A lot of times
it has to be over a certain amount, but Mom and I are obsessed, so we always go over that certain amount that gets you a free thing.
I think it's only like $35.
No, I think it's like 60.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought 50 got you free shipping and 35 got you a free.
Oh, well. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyways.
Go on there and check it out, because they have the neatest products, and
it's cool. And like
category.
The free stuff is
full size,
legit full size things. Yes. It's like, what nail polish color do you want for free? Or like, what face wipes do you want? Like a whole pack of them, not just like a little sample pack. So
yes. I got free deodorant wipes. Those are really cool to take.
That's cool.
When traveling, like for your wedding, and you want to make sure that you don't smell. That was really cool. And I have not had problems with any of their products. Have you?
No, I haven't. I just got their suntan lotion and their face sunscreen stick, which is interesting. So it's like all mineral sunscreen. No, yeah, it worked out really well. So obviously Mom and I could go on all day about all this great stuff, and we haven't even gotten into cleaning supplies like laundry detergents, etc. But I do hope that this little overview has helped you with ideas for personal care products. Our goal is to try and take the toxic load off of your elimination organs like the liver and kidneys. Because, as we discussed, your skin, which is an organ, right?
Yes.
Okay. Absorbs at least 64%, if not 100%, of the chemicals in the products you apply. So if you use one product a day that could be safe or may have a few harmful things in it, when you add up all of those products that are a little wishy-washy, you load your body with a lot of things that it needs to detox from. We haven't even gotten into makeup, which can contain lead and other not so great ingredients. And again, just do a quick Google search on makeup, and I found a bunch of different companies that have all natural makeup products that work really, really well. So today I encourage you to go into the show notes and start looking at the more natural products and decide if you want to give them a try. Remember, if you find a product you like, please let us know, because we're always exploring. That's how we found Pacifica. Mom just kind of stumbled upon it. Or perhaps you're using one that's your tried and true that we haven't mentioned or even thought about. So please let us know. We'd love to hear your input. Well, thanks everyone for listening. And again, We want to hear from you guys. We always want to hear from you guys. Please, please, please reach out to us. And here are just a few ways that you can do that. You can reach out via Instagram and Facebook. Find us at Salty About Health. Even Snapchat at Salty Health. You can email us at saltyabout.health@gmail.com. Or if you just want to find all that in one place, check out our website, saltyabout.health.com. We've got all the ways for you to listen and connect there. And finally, if you like what you hear today, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. We really appreciate it. So, Mom, if they want to hear from you on social media, where can they find you?
Okay, I am a certified health coach and I do coach one-on-one. So if you're interested, you can contact me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com. I also do research for people who are interested in finding alternative approaches to do in conjunction with the health issue or illness their doctor is treating them for. So again, just reach out to me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com or follow me on Twitter at feedyourselfhealthy, which is spelled FEEDURSELFHLTHY. That's where they can find me.
Cool. Okay. And if you guys want to find me, I'm not a health coach, but I'm on Instagram hanging out there at Dalaney.a. Find out how to spell my name in the show notes and everything. And of course, I'll be the one mainly keeping an eye on the social media. So always happy to chat with you guys via the Salty Network. Also, just want to shout out our intro and outro music. It is by Yule, and you can find her at www.yulearts.com. That's EULARTS. You can also find her on Instagram at Yule_arts or Spotify and YouTube. Check her out. Her piano music and everything else is amazing. And until next time, stay salty.
Stay salty.